Hi everyone, Linda here from Timeless Fitness. I am in my home gym today. We're going to talk a little bit about why we should not be overthinking our diet and exercise plans. Okay, I thought I'd show you a little bit about where I work out, where I exercise. This is, like I said, my home gym, and it's a big part of my day. And I also want to show you some of my philosophy around food and diet and what types of things we eat. I've been getting a lot of questions and DMs on my Instagram about my fitness, which is great, but a lot of people I'm finding are asking exactly. They want to know exactly what I do. They want to know what my diet is, what my exercise plan is, and they want to know exactly. I assume that they're asking this because they want to follow it too. And I believe that would be somewhat negligent of me to expect you to do exactly what I'm doing because we all have different goals. We have different starting points, we have different weights, we have different likes, dislikes when it comes to our exercise. So I don't think that would be the best idea to do that. In fact, when I became a personal trainer about 20 years ago, I swore that I would keep the word personal in mind for every single client because everyone is different, and to train everyone the same would just be kind of plain irresponsible in my eyes. If you are starting out on a new fitness plan, or if you're coming back from a long hiatus, we need to get back to basics and not overthink it actually. I think the most important thing that we can possibly do is to find something that you love doing. Okay, that is super, super important. Just like you hear people say, you know, when you find a job that you love, you never have to work a day in your life. It's very, very similar with fitness. If you find something that you love doing, then you never have to, resent doing it. You're going to be loving to do it, whether it's running, whether it's skating, whether it's swimming, whatever it is. If you love it, you're going to continue to do it. Case in point, actually I've been doing this for about 40 years. I fell in love with weight training 40 years ago. I've been doing it ever since, and I've never ever resented it. I'm down here pretty well every day or at the gym with my husband, and it's just because I love it so much. And this is what I think we tend to overthink what we're doing. So if you find something you love doing, you will continue to move for a very long time. Okay. I don't think that it should be that complicated. We hear a lot of studies and data about, sets and reps and intensity and frequency and which ones are best and which ones aren't so good. And I think sometimes it can be useful. All this information can be very useful to a point. And it's not to say that all these studies don't have their place. However, for many of us, I think it can almost be information overload, and it's just too much information, and can actually turn people off from starting a fitness program in the first place, which is not what we want. So at first, you need to just concentrate on getting yourself moving. Okay, getting out of your comfort zone, that's for sure. You have to get out of your comfort zone. Find an activity or 2 or 3 that you love doing. Whether it's swimming, biking, hiking, whatever it might be, and kind of go with that. But having said that, I do believe that everyone should incorporate some kind of resistance training, that's weight training or body weight training, into their program, because as a normal progression of human aging, okay, women tend to lose about 1/2 pound of muscle per year after the age of 35. And not only that, to add insult to injury, we gain about 1.5 pounds of fat after the age of 35. So your body composition can change significantly if you don't nip things in the bud. We need to dig in our heels and say, no, this is not going to happen. We have to instead be diligent about finding a way to keep our bodies moving and strengthen your muscles in order to prevent this from happening. Like, don't let that happen. Now, if you're a more advanced exerciser, of course, then you would need to do more research about your given exercise that you've chosen, and maybe, if you want to get better at it, if you want to get faster at it, get stronger at it, whatever it is that you've chosen. But in the beginning, if you're just starting out and just thinking about getting into an exercise plan and getting into fitness, then just start with the basics. I think that's probably the best place to start. I'm just gonna move into the other half of my gym here, and just for a change of scenery, and I just kind of show you my gym. This is gym A. We're gonna move into gym B there, okay? Okay, so we're in my gym B. This is actually 2 rooms that are adjacent to each other, so hopefully one day I'm gonna actually knock out that one wall and make it one great big gym, which would be great. And as you can tell, I love to surround myself with pictures of people that have helped inspire me over the years, and just kind of make it a place that I just love being in. With regards to what I do for exercise, I'll give you a brief overview. I currently am on a 4-day split, so I do basically every body part every 4 days. I also do cardio included in that, and when I do cardio in the gym, that cardio is a high intensity interval training cardio. I love doing it. It really gets my heart pumping. It gets me, it's sweaty, and it's awesome. I love it. I also we go for bike rides and hikes and walks and everything still. But when I do cardio in the gym, it's all out, hard, heart pumping, good cardio. Okay, and call me crazy, but I kind of love it. Okay, actually let me know, and I might even do a follow along HIIT cardio workout in the future. When it comes to exercise, I think if you find something you love doing, you're on the right track. Don't overthink it, and you find something you love, you're going to stay active forever. We must keep in mind that we don't have a spare. This is our body, and we have to treat it with the utmost respect, and it will perform well for you. Okay, I'm going to head upstairs now. We're going to make some breakfast, and we're going to talk a little bit about our diet. Okay, so I'm going to make a bit of breakfast here now, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about how Mark and I like to eat. And basically, we don't like to overthink our eating either. Okay, so generally what our meal comprises, or our meals comprise of mostly, is low fat, fairly low carbohydrate, and fairly high protein. So what I've got right now is I've got breakfast going, and these are just liquid egg whites. So I'm going to get these cooked and then just add a couple of real eggs to the top of these as well. Okay, and I always remember, I try to think about food as fuel. So when I'm cooking, when I'm shopping, buying food for the household, I always want to make sure that what I'm buying, what I'm bringing into the house, and what we're putting in our bodies is fuel for our body, not something just to fill the gap. I mean, you could be hungry and eat a whole bag of pretzels, and it's going to fill that gap. You won't feel hungry after you're done, but really, what has that done for your body? Nothing. It provides no nutrients whatsoever. So everything I put into my body, I always like to think that it's going to do something good for the body. It's going to have some protein. It's going to have some good vitamin A, B, C, D, whatever it is, and to do something good for your body. And I also think, speaking of shopping, when it comes to grocery shopping, remember to shop the perimeter of the grocery store. It's way more important. It's way healthier. So around the perimeter, just think about it, because you've got all your vegetables, you've got your fruits, you've got your fresh meat, you've got, if you do eat meat, it's mostly around the perimeter. Once you start getting to the inside of the store, the inner aisles, then you've got a lot more of your processed foods, your boxed foods, your cereals and stuff, things that are a little bit more over processed. So I'm just going to put my eggs on the plate. And as you can see already on the plate, I've got a little bit of fruit. We've got a little bit of sweet potato. I'm just going to round this out by putting our protein on here. I've got fruit, berries, and some mango this morning, so it looks yummy. Okay, and I'm going to add just a couple of real eggs on here. Okay, those are liquid egg whites. They're 100% liquid eggs. I never count macros. I think it's a bit of a waste of time for me. Now, if you're on a diet, say you want to lose a few pounds, then you do need to know what your basal metabolic rate is, and from there you can kind of gauge it up and down whether or not you need to raise or lower it. But once you've been doing this for a long time, like I have, I see no need really to be counting every macro, every gram of protein, every gram of carbohydrate. You know, we just kind of make sure that we're eating to fuel our body, eating so that it makes us feel good, and yeah, it's a little bit easier than what a lot of people think. Turn this up a little bit. Almost ready. We're hungry. All right. Okay, so speaking of whether or not you're, vegetarian, or if you eat meat or whatever, if you're buying meat in the store, can you move the camera? Thank you. I don't really understand all this, why you have to be labeled as a vegetarian or a pescatarian or an ovo-lacto-vegetarian, whatever the heck they call them. I'm really not into all those names, and I honestly think that if you're eating a balanced diet, who cares what you are? Who cares? I mean, for heaven's sakes, we're not even supposed to say whether we're male or female these days. Like, who cares if we're talking about if we're a vegetarian or a pescatarian and stuff like that? It's just eat healthy, make sure you're getting the appropriate amount of calories, and go from there. And just remember to fuel your body. The food that goes into your body is there for fuel. It's not just to fill that gap. Okay, so that's something that we always have to keep in mind when we're shopping. Don't even bring that crap into your house. Don't even bring in the Fruit Loops. We want to keep things as close to natural as possible. We can't go into our backyard and find a Fruit Loop tree. Okay, so yeah, try to keep it as natural as possible, and that's how we should try to eat probably 90% of the time. I mean, sure, we all like our little bits of chocolate now and then or something, but everything within reason. Just a little bit, a little taste. One bite tastes the same as the whole piece, right? Same with pie and ice cream and stuff like that. Just everything in moderation. All right, so chop it off with a couple real eggs. Because the egg yolks won't kill you. There we go. Beautiful. So this is what our breakfast looks like this morning. We're going to go out, maybe even go outside. It's a beautiful morning. Go outside and have our breakfast, and we'll catch up with you in a minute. Okay, Mark and I are just out for our evening walk. It's an absolutely beautiful evening, and I just wanted to wrap things up, remind you not to overthink things. Okay, find something you love and you will do it forever. Okay, if you have any questions, please leave them below. Any comments, I'd be happy to answer them. In fact, I might even do a Ask Linda segment if I get enough questions, okay? And don't forget, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell button, and we will see you next time.